We recommend this product be installed by a qualified gunsmith. Modification of your firearm may nullify and void the factory warranty of your firearm. No liabilities expressed or implied for damage or injury which may occur from improper use or installation of this product. Always wear safety glasses when working on firearms. Always point your firearm in a safe direction, and always clear your firearm before beginning any work. You are responsible for the safe handling, legalities, and use of your firearm. Hi, this is Doran, and I'm going to install the PS90 aluminum hammer and sear from ManKave Specialties. Now, you may immediately notice that the sear looks different than the plastic factory sear on later model PS90 trigger packs. There's also an additional spring, which we'll talk about later in this video. You'll need a small hammer, a 1/8 inch punch, a bench block or other device to hold your trigger pack, and tweezers or needle nose pliers, and that's going to be used to install the spring a little bit later. Let's get started. First, we'll gently release the hammer in both locations, and then we're going to knock out these two pins to get the sear and the hammer out. Now, these are not pressed in very hard, so most often you'll be able to just push them in with a punch. And these parts are under spring tension, so make sure you cover them gently. And we'll take the sear out and the hammer as well. It doesn't look like I'm going to need the hammer for this. These ones are popping out pretty easy by themselves. And we'll pull the black piece out of the way and get the hammer out. Make sure you leave the springs inside, because what we're going to do now is we're going to put the hammers next to each other. The old one with the springs in it and the new one, and we're going to move the springs over in the exact same location. When you're done, the spring should be in just like that. And we're going to put this back in the trigger pack. We're going to pull back on this black piece to get it out of the way. And from underneath, we're just going to drop it in just like this. Now, this spring right here needs to sit inside of this groove. So we're going to be mindful of that as we try to line this up and get one of the two pins back in. And there it is. The spring is in the groove, and we're in good shape. Now, we're going to leave the hammer uncocked because this spring right here was originally used to put the original sear under spring tension. That's not the case with the new sear, and we'll go over that here in just a bit. Next, we're going to install the aluminum sear. And you may notice that the aluminum sear looks different than the factory sear, and that's because the factory sear uses the hammer's spring to put the sear under spring tension. And that's right here. This little piece right here puts the sear under spring tension. That is not the case with the new sear. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this pin and put it in the same side as where the spring is. And then with our hands, we're just going to push the spring down enough to get below the pin and put the pin in so that the pin is holding the spring, and that's where it's going to stay. And then we're going to go ahead and put the sear in with this orientation so that this little knob right here is on this side, same side as the pin. And we're going to go ahead and drop it in. And it's going to require a little bit of manipulation. And we'll put it in just enough so that we're halfway through the sear. Okay, and this is where the spring is going to go. The spring is going to go inside of here, and it's a little bit tricky, especially if you don't have something holding it. If you'd like to give us a call with ideas on how to put the spring in there, I'm more than happy to share how we do it here in the shop. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we've got to get this under spring tension, and the spring is going to go in just like this, in this orientation. Okay, and the best way to do this would be, we're going to go ahead and cock the hammer to get that out of the way. I'm going to hold this with tweezers just like this. I'm going to get it in here just like that. And it is a little bit tricky when doing it this way. And I'm going to go ahead and push the pin in just like that. So now this sear is under spring tension, and the sear is located in the Gen 1 trigger pack. And that's it. The hammer and sear are now installed and ready to be installed on the PS90.